Gentlemen, let's cheers.
Cheers.
Let's cheers to this.
I
got the whole world in front of me. What is that Sleeping with Sirens song?
Oh.
I thought you were
Do
doing
that one. We are.
I'm Evan Ayers.
What?
What's your name?
Danny No Name.
I'm Matt Kimley, and we are Sweatpants Factory.
Yeah, that's us.
No labor.
And this is Sweatshop number 6.
Bad number.
Because it was 5 last time, and we forgot
Only
to say
if
that.
there's 3 of them.
And we have a special guest with us once again. Seven Michael Ayers.
Yeah, it's Seven Michael Ayers. How you doing? It's good to be back. I missed last time, but it's good to be back.
No, you didn't.
Well, I did.
Yeah, you were working or something foolish.
We channeled your spirit.
This is true.
Oh, what time is it for when we hit an hour and I need to go home? Okay, 10:12. Okay, gentlemen. We got... Oh, I wanted to do an icebreaker.
Oh, no.
That I came up with.
Okay.
What is your favorite lunch meat? And there is a right answer.
Turkey.
Turkey?
Are you serious?
Rotisserie chicken?
Like when you buy the slice... The right answer is pastrami.
Ew.
Both... Excuse me?
Ew.
Are you serious?
100%.
You don't like pastrami?
The last time I ate pastrami, I got food poisoning. And the time before that, I didn't really like it. So
Pastrami's incredible.
I branched out, and it just turned around and stuck a finger right up my butt.
The Greek gods drank ambrosia and ate pastrami.
I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
I'm pretty sure I'm right, as I always am. That's my icebreaker. Because I bought pastrami, and I was like, oh shit, this is great. This is a good joke.
I hate Italian sandwiches.
Oof.
Like a meatball sub?
Meatball sub is different.
That's an Italian sandwich.
Okay,
but like the Italian BMT at Subway.
Is my favorite fucking footlong.
The last time, years ago, when you worked at a Subway and you go, I'm going to make you a sandwich because I want a cold cut trio, you just go, I'm going to rock your world.
Don't get the
And
cold
you made
cut.
it mainly with pepperoni and pastrami and
salami. They don't have pastrami at Subway.
Okay, whatever. Italian meats. It was awful to me.
Are you serious?
I liked all of the dressings and the side stuff and the lettuce and the tomato, and that's what made me start putting all that stuff on my sandwich. But the meat,
It's fucking Italian BMT. Thank you very much. Evan and I both worked at Subway for a time in our youth. It's 4 slices of ham, 6 pieces salami, 6 pieces pepperoni, and it's incredible. And none of that is pastrami. But
it's all. I mean, it's all just.
Like
or if you go to Quiznos, or
he just doesn't like Italian
anything.
meats in general.
Well, I don't even know what that means. You like pepperoni on your pizza?
That's pepperoni on a pizza, though.
Yeah.
Do you like salami?
Not
I don't give
really.
a... This is stupid. You're wrong. I didn't anticipate this going
You
this...
didn't intend your icebreaker to go on for more than...
I never thought you would
seconds.
say something as ludicrous as I don't like Italian sub-sandwiches. Like,
Oh my God.
Do you hate puppies and hugs as well, I assume?
How dare you disagree with him?
I would like it more if I wasn't so sure that the pepperoni...
Evan is correct. How dare you disagree with me?
Was made
Speaking
of puppies
about
and
you.
hugs. Okay, first topic.
Oh, no, I was going to do after icebreakers, just catching up with everybody because we do that every time. Danny and I kind of done that. The podcast, all 5 of us that listen, that's just us in a podcast, but nobody knows what's been going on in Evan's world lately. We talked about last time, well, you didn't have any good news.
I still don't have good news. I got denied a job.
We'll talk about our news in a minute, and I was like, my life's great, and I got a new computer, but what's up with Evan's world?
Heaven smells pretty good. I'm eating better. I want to find a better job. I don't really like where I'm at, but it's all
You're a
good.
damn good boyga flipper.
Boyga flipping. It's all good.
Bad burger boy, bastard man.
You
Danny,
can flip me like a burger.
You can flip me like a burger any day of the week. Danny and I owe a shitload of money, apparently. Me, definitely. Maybe Danny.
Oh, yeah?
Danny might owe money to a collections agency.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's fine. one.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
I can't see where I went wrong.
I just did the same thing.
Other
though,
than somebody
and,
typing in a wrong number.
It's not a matter of wrong number. So when I owed money to the college, I waited to the last absolute minute and then set up minuscule payments. And the first payment didn't start before they sent it off to collections. So like I set it all up, and then I got a phone call after about a month. Well, first I checked. And I was like, oh, the money didn't get drafted out of my account. And I was a good boy, and I called them, and I was like, hey, I set this up, and you didn't pull the money. Why not? And they were like, oh, we sent the account off to collections. So I was like, what? Which is terrifying. And collections added about 33% onto what I already owed, which made it substantial, to say the least.
Shit, like,
and I had a fucking breakdown because it was college loans, and then I ended up calling... Well, I was thinking about all the different crap I was doing. One option I did legitimately consider was living in my car, because to make the monthly payments, I was like, well, I could do that if I didn't owe rent.
Yeah.
So I was like, well... I was working at a different gym at the time, and I was like, I guess I'll sleep in my car and spend all my time at the gym.
Why did they add the, 33% or whatever? Was it
just sending it off to collections? Boost, they were like, you owe more now. There you go. And anyway, I called the college, and I was like, yo. And it took me all day, and I broke down multiple times crying, not on the phone, just at work, because I was at work that day, and I had to get to the top billing person at the college, and she was like, all right, I appreciate you being proactive, let me see what I can do, I will probably be able to pull this back from collections, and we'll deal with it within the college. And I was like, sweet. And it got taken care of. And now it's just a regular monthly payment. Like what you're doing for Danny's was for concussion.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that on the internet.
So yeah, I think it's the same thing, Dan. It's either... Well, so he's been getting these calls, automated messages, and we Googled it, and it is from a collection agency here in Longmont that deals with medical bills. So it's like, okay, that all does line up, but it did say on their Google thing, they're a shitty not that there's a good collection agency out there, but they're a bad one, and they don't usually verify the debt.
Of course
which
not.
And Danny set up the billing back in March, but you're also a shithead, and you don't check your banking apparently ever, so you don't see that it's been drafting every month. You just set it up the one time, and you're like, okay. And now you're getting flack for it. So I imagine it's one of 2 or 3 scenarios. One is that the hospital got close to sending it to a collections agency, and then you took care of it, but a letter got sent anyway, and Google said, this company doesn't actually verify that you owe that money, so they're just assuming you do, and they're calling you, and all you have to do is call the hospital, or check your bank, like I said, and see if the money's coming out, you have nothing to worry about. Unless it's from some other medical procedure we don't know about.
I don't believe I've had any others.
So it's either that, or just like me, you set it up and the first payment didn't come out, or something went wrong on their end, even though you set it up, and they're not getting the payment, and they're not pulling it, so it got sent off to the collection agency, in which case you can do exactly what I did, and be like, look, I talked to someone, I got it set up in March, this should have been fine, you guys fucked it, and they'll hopefully be nice and be like, yeah, okay, you're right, we'll pull it back, and you can go back to doing what you were doing. I guess those are really the only 2 options.
I think those are the only options. Moral of the
story... I guess option 3 is it's just a total scam.
Moral of the story, don't trust people to do their jobs, or don't be a shithead and get your bank in.
Get knocked. No, the moral of the story is don't get twisted at a party in Boulder and knock yourself out with a door and need to get sent to the hospital for a concussion. That's the moral of the story. So difficult to avoid.
Mistakes happen.
Mistakes have been made. Shit happens. On my end, I get to go drop about $2,500 tomorrow or the next day.
I heard you talking about that.
On fun housing shit. Yup. Super fun. Totally anticipated that.
Just do everything yourself.
I have to pay rent tomorrow to the place I currently live.
And then
deposit. And then for this house that I let, a certain someone who's missing from this podcast, who will not listen to it, whose microphone we're using that I happen to currently live with, I found a place for us a month ago, something, because he said, oh yeah, you can find us a place to live, and I did. He was like, I don't care, wherever you go, I'll go, it's easier. And then he looked at it, he was like, no, I don't like it. I was like, then you find somewhere, bitch. This is what I found, this is my solution, and I did the wrong thing and let someone else be in charge. Which was clearly a mistake. And now I've been pressuring him, and he's been freaking out because we leave for Mexico June 26th, and our lease is up July 1st. So it's like, I need to have a place to live before July 1st, and my stuff needs to be in there. Or if I'm living with you, John, you need to move my stuff. If you really want to move with me, and it's going to be that. So he and our other roommate that he now brought into the fold, because I was like, it can just be the two of us, and it can be clean, and we can find an easy apartment. And it's like, no. We just have to make this as complicated as we can fucking imagine. You know, it's like, no, let's bring another person into this that I never talked to. He's a nice guy, but I never talked to my other roommate. I don't know who the fuck he is really. And I'm not then trusting him like, oh yeah, he's good for $1,000 a month. Totally, wherever we pick. Like, are you stupid?
Right. Yeah.
So they found this house, and I have a whole bunch of theories about that because it's close to his boss that he's in love with. Her house, it's like a block away, and it just had to be this house. And he's like, the landlord's been doing renovations and all this kind of garbage, and he's like, oh yeah, it's just all by the numbers, you guys send me, you know, your info and the background check, and then I'll make a decision. We did all that, and it was totally up in the air. And I was like, look dude, realistically you have to like the 7th. If you don't find a place by the 7th, like I'm gonna find, there's like 15 units available in this apartment complex super close to my job that's way within my price range. You know, it's like, I'll find a roommate on Craigslist like I've done 100 times before, and I'm gonna move in there. Like, I have to. You're not leaving me any other choice, man. And he called me today, and it was like, all right, tomorrow we all work, but we're all gonna take work off and meet this guy and pay him about $5,000 first month, last month, and deposit, and I have to pay rent for where we're currently living. And then we have this house. It's like, are you kidding me, dude? I haven't even seen it since before it got refurbished. And so math-wise, it works out okay. But anyway, that's enough about me bitching about housing. It's a pain in the ass. But
that's shitty,
but
dude.
Jeez, dude. I mean, if I hadn't gotten all this job stuff going at the end of the year, if it was like, oh yeah, you got to drop like $2,300 tomorrow, it's like, no. I don't have that kind of shit just lying around, dude. But anyway, that's probably him texting or some bullshit. Oh no, it's our friend from high school. Anyway, moving on from personal shit. Aaron! You want a podcast?
It's gonna be amazing.
Aaron doesn't want a podcast. All right. Evan, we had a very special guest last week between me and Danny. His name was Evan Michael Ayers.
I was there and I wasn't there.
Yeah, he came through and he told us a little bit about Mortal Kombat 11, but he may have quoted a quote, like what's it called when you paraphrase. He may have paraphrased a little bit of his opinions at the time. So now that you're back, do you want to tell us about all your feelings about Mortal Kombat 11? And I know you want to rant and rave, but we do have the E3 and the Pokemon thing is going to be hot shit.
Yes,
so.
this is true. No, Mortal Kombat 11 has been great, and Danny, I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well, but no.
He already told you last week.
Well, he's telling me now, okay? I want to know, and the people want to know.
We were trying to figure out how to impersonate you. We have a mean one that we've been doing for a long time that starts with, my name is Evan, and I like Mortal Kombat and hugs. And then we did that for like 2 lines, and we were like, that's mean. There's no basis for that. So we tried to actually impersonate you, and I don't remember what we came up with, but we were like, we have to talk higher, like higher up here, and you do this, okay. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11?
I don't know. That first impression was pretty spot on accurate.
A deaf kid?
He does like Mortal Kombat 11 and hugs.
Both are true.
Free hugs. No, it's a great game. Because Mortal Kombat has always been like my favorite my favorite franchise, and I don't play a whole lot of other fighting games just because, like
Fighting suck.
They're amazing.
Tweet. Fighting games suck.
They're amazing, and I love them. Like I
gems in the shit.
but MK will always be the best, and I surprisingly like the character I played the most is Scorpion. Like,
you dick!
It's because he's like really easy.
Get over here!
He's really easy to play, and and he and Devora in MKX were two characters that I felt like
I'm nicking out. Oh no, it's bad. Continue.
Jesus. I felt like Scorpion and Devora were both characters that I didn't get enough from, and I probably said this before, but I just wanted something more from them, and in this one, like, I get that in spades with Scorpion. He's like the easiest character to play. The next one up would be Jax, because he's like always been one of my mains, but at this point, it's like I have like over 400 matches with Scorpion, and Jax is only up to like 250 or something.
Oh my god!
He's just my go-to right now. But
I love Jax. I would recommend Scorpion for people who are just picking up the game. Never played a Mortal Kombat game before.
I get it. Some of us play Genji, and some of us play the actual game. So, like, what's the?
Do you mean
Genji?
From fucking Overwatch. Are you serious?
Okay.
Yes. No, I thought you meant Kenshi.
No, I was making an Overwatch.
Nobody plays Overwatch anymore.
I stopped playing Overwatch.
I stopped playing Overwatch.
Wow, I'm taking that out. Whatever.
Anyways.
I'm the one that edits.
Scorpion's great for people who've never picked the game up before. He's easy to use.
We're not getting into the fucking mechanics. We don't have time. We have more pressing things
We
to
have
talk
so
about.
much time. We just spent 12 to 13 minutes talking about your problems.
I am the host. Some would say the Führer of this channel.
Wow. Anyways, he's great. I would get more into... If you want to go on, I mean, Sub-Zero is fun to use. There are characters who are better than him, but he's a little bit more choppy. Scorpion is fluid, but almost to a point where you could just spam his teleport.
You made Johnny Cage look pretty sick.
I made him look good, but you saw me when I was frustrated with life because of all the shit that we talked about with before. So I was better with him earlier in the day. But
well, even
Johnny
when you were
Cage
bad,
is great.
it looked like you were good, because even for me, it's impossible. That's why I don't like Mortal Kombat. You can't do like a combo. A combo is 3
Johnny
hits.
Cage is great. His fatalities may be my favorite in the game. They're so funny.
they totally went off.
But
with
he's great. I would try to branch out. There are characters who should be more advanced to use once you've played the game a little bit more. Cetrion comes to mind.
Yes, absolutely.
She can be amazing. I've seen it.
She's the boss. She's the god.
No, that's Chronica. She's not a playable character.
Oh, Cetrion's the shaman one, the earth thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Cetron, I think you can get good with, but you have to just practice the game more, get more used to combos and stuff like that.
And she's strong because like the game has like a lot of zoning in it, but not like too much like Injustice 2 had.
It's great. It's a good balance between characters' moves and getting used to it, and skill, whereas games like Dragon Ball FighterZ, which I love, but Matt hates, which is fair, I feel like is more... I mean, you can try to spam. If you're going up against a player who's skillful at it, you'll just get completely destroyed.
Yeah.
It'll destroy your spirit. So that's a game you have to really practice at, whereas Mortal Kombat 11, it's really fun. You just gotta... start with a character that's easier to use, and which is most characters, but like Scorpion, they're more fluid no matter what you do. But then try to branch out. Don't just choose one character and then spam. They're all fun to play. But that does kind of lead into the DLC characters. I just bought Shao Kahn. He's a little bit more choppy, but he's really fun to use. His skins are cool. His hammer and his javelin are a mix of weapons that you usually don't see.
Mm-hmm.
But he's great. But I did want to lead that into who do we think the next DLC characters are? We just got
Joker for Smash.
Joker for Smash.
Cloud Strife.
We just got Shang Tsung's reveal, which we knew he was going to be in the game, but we finally got to see his mix-up, which is amazing. Evan, what do you think about Shang Tsung?
He looks so cool, and his gimmick has always been like changing into like whoever he's fighting to use their moves against them. The thing that I'm interested about is it looked like he's got a move or a throw or some kind of move where he can steal the move from whoever he's fighting, and then it looks like he can use certain moves that character has, like in the game, like Raiden. He used one of Raiden's moves, and it turned into a crushing blow. So he could potentially like have a move that he can steal, or several moves that he can steal from each character and get a crushing blow out of whatever move that is, based on whatever that character can do.
He used so many different skills in that trailer and moves and combos that it does make me think, do you just get to play that character for a little bit?
Yeah,
I think it's awesome. The staff move from Raiden, the flying, what do you call it? I can never remember what it's called. But when he just like flies forward and hits people with lightning.
The Superman.
Oh yeah, his Superman.
That looks so cool. I love how when he uses his special moves and he turns into like Rain and Ermac, they go back to the original look.
Yeah.
It's just that pure purple or the pure red. It's so cool, and those ones are more just, you get to use a move or two from them, and then you're fine, but you have to do a full combo to steal your opponent's character and use that for a little bit. But I think he looks awesome. It does make me wonder what else they're going to have, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they announced Sindel, which is great, which we haven't had since 9.
Yeah.
They announced
Nightwolf.
Nightwolf is going to be great. And who was the other one? They announced one more. Spawn, who is a kind of he's not part of the Mortal Kombat universe, but he's from like DC. And he's, the last time we saw Spawn in a fighting video game, Matt, was Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
And
right? And that was only on like the Xbox
like 3,
version.
yeah, because each PlayStation got one, GameCube got Yoda. No, GameCube got Link.
And
something
PlayStation
got
2
Yoda,
got...
and the other one got Spawn.
Who's the guy from fighting video game? I can't remember. People are going to hate me. I can't even remember the name of the franchise.
I don't know what we're talking about.
It's
Tekken?
with Tekken. Who is the guy from Tekken?
Jin.
There's Jin, but the grandpa.
Heihachi.
Oh,
Heihachi.
yeah.
Mishima.
PS2 got Heihachi. So that was a neat thing, but this one you can get all of them, and I mean, it's cool that we get Spawn. That's going to be great. He's got chains, he's got capes, he's got ethereal weapons.
What baffles me almost is like people have been wanting Spawn in another realm game, like MKX, Injustice 2, and MK11. Everybody, like a lot of people have been like craving Spawn to finally be in another realm game, and it's like, I was like, they must have known that, but then they show off Shang Tsung, and then they just announce, oh hey, Nightwolf 2, Sindel's 2, and Spawn, and it's like, you'd think that they want to, the way they hyped up like Predator and Alien coming out, you know, for MKX, I thought that they would like savor announcing him yet. Or like wait to actually like show him off to announce
That makes a
him.
lot of sense. I go back again to Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is great. They always announce DLC characters in 2s, but what they did recently was they announced Goku GT, so he's Kid Goku, and he has a special move where he turns into Super Saiyan 4, which is awesome. But still, so they announced him, but they haven't announced the other one, and people have just been waiting.
Dragon Ball games
personally
started sucking when they went away from Budokai Tenkaichi, or just Budokai. They did both, which was the good one where we could play baseball. Remember?
I mean, Dragon Ball.
Because we could launch a key blast and reflect it at each other, and when you did a form transformation, whether it was like unlock potential or go Super Saiyan, it would drain your ki.
Do you mean the one where
Budokai.
it was kind of more like Mortal Kombat or a normal fighting game, or it's just you on one side, like 2D, you on one side?
It was like 2.5 because you'd be side scrolling, but then you could still sidestep, and it would change with you.
Well, there is one Budokai Tenkaichi.
That was Budokai.
3.
That was Budokai, and then Budokai Tenkaichi or just Tenkaichi was where it was like a full 3D and it was stupid. Yeah. I'm done talking about fighting games. You guys both love that shit and I hate it. And I'm like texting friends about
that's because he's
bullshit. I'm terrible at them. And it's been half an hour and we have way better stuff to talk about.
We're excited for everybody else. RoboCop and Terminator.
Shut up. I need to finish this text because it's mean and hilarious. How do you spell epilepsy?
E.
I got it. Let's talk about the sad thing first, because I can finish it, and then we'll talk about exciting stuff.
Oh.
So you and I talked about last week. You were not privy to this conversation. Sugar Pine 7 officially now got fired from Rooster Teeth.
Oh, that's bad. That's sad.
Well,
wait, fired?
Yep.
Wait, fired or they didn't renew their contract?
They were not given the option. Well, the contract thing was like a speculation. Because it's about May, June, and about 2 years ago, Steven Suptic, the owner, sold Rooster Teeth, sold Sugar Pine 7 to Rooster Teeth, like the company, so they could do stuff. So the past, I want to say almost 6 weeks now, Evan, they stopped. Sorry, I'm having a hilarious text conversation right now.
Put your fucking phone away.
They stopped putting out video. They only put out the podcast.
Yeah, you were
once
telling
a week.
me about that.
Yeah, and it's been like 5 or 6 weeks now. And they didn't say until the last one, just yesterday or the day before, was we got fired from Rooster Teeth. So
I was wondering if like they were planning.
They just weren't bringing in the views, dude, and even to
I didn't know if they were
and pay. They had Steve, Kib, James, Mimi, Jamie, and Vicky, the editor. So that to full pay and benefits 6 people is a lot of money. And even on YouTube, even when you've got 1 million and whatever subscribers, you need to be pulling in big. Let's take someone like Funhouse for example. And by the way, it seemed like they were stuck at about 1 million or so subscribers for a long time. And then recently, it has been picking up speed, which is exciting as fuck. And they just did a little while ago. I think around the time they hit 1 million subscribers or so, they wanted maybe 1.2. We were like, we want another office tour video. And Adam was like, we'll do another one when we hit 1.5. How about? And they hit 1.5 pretty recently, and he just put that video out within the last month, and they're already at 1.6. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's another 100,000 people.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So they've gone from, it seemed like they were kind of stuck around 1.1, 1.2 for a couple of years, and now they're at 1. They were just at 1.5, now they're at 1.6. Like they're growing, kind of like Alpharad. His big thing when I found him, he just hit 1 million, and he's already also at like 1.4, 1.5. So like super exciting that these handful of channels that I love so much are really growing, especially in this kind of YouTube question. It's really questionable. Anyway, Sugar Pine on the views, and we all knew that. So what? Yeah, it's kind of officially sad. We talked about like it might be bad, it might be cool, because before they got signed to Rooster Teeth was kind of the golden age of Sugar Pine 7 for them and for the fans, when they didn't have to be so 9 to 5. It really just allowed their creativity to blossom, and they acknowledged that in this podcast, and even they said some harsh stuff in a way, especially Steven, the channel head. I mean, he was like, we should have stopped after like season 1, and Kib and James were like, season 2, season 3, like that's fine. But so that series of videos they do, which it's my biggest. Evan, I said last week, Sugar Pine 7 is to me what Funhouse is to you. Because actually, I'm wearing a Rooster Teeth shirt, as I always am now, because that's all my shirts now. For the first time, I had a guy recognize it at King Soopers when we bought beer. The kid checking out, he just said, what got you into Rooster Teeth? And I was like, Funhouse, what about you? And he was like, oh, Red versus Blue. And he started talking, younger than us. He looked to be, and he was talking about like old days of Red versus Blue, which I barely even know. But like, as far as I'm concerned, you found Funhouse, and then you got me into it.
Yeah, because
we kind of brought Danny into it, and now even we're here recording a podcast. I mean, that's kind of why.
Because I had followed Funhouse when they were still with Machinima as Inside Gaming, and they moved, like, they left Machinima as a group, and they had like a week of just like nothing, and Rooster Teeth picked them up.
Yeah.
So,
and I've just
I just wanted to reflect for just a moment, because I found Sugar Pine 7. I know you guys aren't as into it. I think you've watched a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I remember
watching Acrasia with you in an airport.
I probably got
when I was
halfway through season 2, if not more. It's a series. I love it. I really do. The first season is the best, in my opinion. But it's one of those things, it's so easy to stop watching it. If you stop or something happens, for some reason it's hard to get back into. Recently I found myself restarting season 1 because it's like I haven't watched it in months. And it was great. It brought all that joy back, and it was funny, it was hysterical. But then again, I had a couple of really tough work weeks, and I fell off again. So it was just it's really unfortunate that it's easy to fall off and get back into, but it is easy to get back into. Is the thing that I think people should focus on.
So the three of them, the main guys, kind of were saying, like, where's the channel going from here? They didn't give a definitive answer. It sounded like probably nowhere. They have 1 or 2 more videos they're going to finish up to kind of end it off, but like that thing that they did that they call alternative lifestyle, which was the bulk of the videos, especially in the early seasons, that's all it was. They're not doing it anymore. I mean, props to them and all the work they put in during the time, but now they all have, except for Steve, the other 2 main guys have new jobs, and they talked about that. So like they have new jobs, doing different stuff, kind of, sort of. So it definitely sounds like it's kind of coming to an end. They might still do the podcast, but it's probably kind of over. At least
it's really unfortunate that is. They're such a great group of guys.
That channel had Steven Suptic has gone from, he did a thing before that, and then he did this thing called Super Panic Frenzy, and then he did SourceFed, and then he did Sugar Pine 7, and then it was all through his personal channel, and he just changed it every time. So he's been able to make success wherever he goes, and this is another kind of end of an era, and he always seems to kind of get fired and lose his job. But I just wanted to reflect just for a second, because I did think about it. I really found Sugar Pine on my own when I moved to the Springs, and I got dumped, and I was really sad. And I didn't have any friends, and I was in a new city, and just like Funhouse talks about, like, obviously they don't know me. I'll probably never meet them, never go to an RTX, as long as they keep it in fucking California. You know what I mean? And now that they're fired, I definitely won't. But they were my internet friends. They were my friends when I didn't have any friends, and that's why I watched every episode and looked forward to episodes dropping every week, because it's like, this is my friend hangout, because I don't have anything else to do, and it meant a lot to me, and it still means a lot to me, and I love them, and it's hilarious because I just bought 2 of their shirts like a month ago, probably right when they were like, yeah, we're fired. But, I still love Rooster Teeth, and personally I love them, and I just want to like pay homage wherever. If it's out, they said they were going to keep doing the podcast and some other stuff, and they make some music, and it's super hit and miss for me. But that one song, everybody knows my type, it's the only kind of girl I like. Yeah, like, they write good shit. Kid makes great music. He's a great musician, and they're, as far as I'm concerned, they're my friends. And I just wanted to, because we do the jokingly but not jokingly, like, hey, we're kind of doing this because of Rooster Teeth and Funhouse, and that'd be something.
They're a big contributor to it, because this was
just in our interest in the way we live our lives. So I just want to like kind of, it sounds negative, but like pay respects to that, to a channel that I actually care about kind of going down. And then I had a panic attack, like, God, if that ever happened to Funhouse, I'd lose my whole man.
They won't be around forever.
I like I like Game Grumps.
Hopefully I'm like married and have a life by then, and then
I like Game Grumps, but I fell off the train of all the other big YouTubers. I really did. So
that's sugar mine. Let's move on because we're probably we're just about half an hour. All right, so E3 in like a week.
So excited.
More pressingly, we do actually got to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Cha-ching!
Dan, I didn't text this to you because Nigel and Evan and I were like talking about Pokemon stuff before this, and we're going to see Detective Pikachu. So, you guys know A-Drive because I'm talking about him all the time?
Yes.
The Pokemon YouTuber guy. He did a video just the other day, and so it's like a leak, but it's not confirmed yet. And it's the whole Pokedex for Sword and Shield, but it's just names. And you'd be amazed. I was like, who knows? Sounds kind of weak. But I watched the whole video as he goes through the names. They sound legit as fuck. Mm-hmm. You can just tell. And even me reading it, because we've been lifelong Pokemon. It just gives you a list
of all the new Pokemon,
and then it puts their typing, and it'll put, if it's an evolution, it'll be like, so this is Pokemon whatever 801, and then the next one, like Meltan, Melmetal, and then it'll go Meltan, Steel type, nothing, Melmetal, Steel type, evolves from 801, like that.
Okay.
And it just sounded, you could tell. Like, you can tell with Fakemon or whatever. Mm-hmm. This sounded like Nintendo Pokemon Company.
I'm looking at it right now.
That's awesome that you do, actually. And that's what A-Drive said too. And I mean, he does this as his job.
Yeah.
And so
a water
it sounds legit as fuck. We should almost go through it because there's some. Don't go too far because I'm going to surprise the shit out of you.
Well, tell me now.
For the starter,
for the starters,
and the fire starter is cool. The typing, I don't want to ruin it.
So we have Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. Grookey, they thought, because in the trailer he's like pounding the ground with a stick, and people are smart, dude. They were like, it's like a music thing. He's like drumming in time or something like that. And so a bunch of concept art came out, but read the names of Grookey's evolution, Dan.
So Grookey will evolve into Drumpan.
And
then Drumpan will go into
Chimpongo, like bongo.
That's awesome.
So that is all
just
in
a
line.
Music monkey.
He's a grass music monkey.
He's
pure grass.
Full on pure grass.
Now, dude, what's next?
So then we have Scorbunny.
So before Scorbunny, so some of this stuff sounds super legit, and some of it is like almost too close. And when I get to the next thing, is like way too close to fan service. It just sounds. What is it? Grookey, Drumpan, Chimpongo. Those are Pokemon ass names.
Yeah.
Dude. Like those sound. Okay, what are Scorbunny?
Okay, so Scorbunny. I don't want to ruin the typage until.
Well, so if you saw what I did a while ago, there was a thing that was fan art of what they thought it was, and one of it was Fire, Steel. What are the names, Daniel?
It goes Scorbunny, Hotfire. Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Like a pyre.
Yeah.
Moltear,
like a hair, and it's fire steel.
That's awesome.
We've never had a fire steel. We've been so worried that's just going to be another fucking firefighting.
Yeah.
There's no way they haven't caught on to that.
Yeah.
And we've never had a fire steel.
Do Sobble.
Sobble is going to go Sobble, Nerviz, and Fearless. And it's going to be Water Ghost, so Nerveliz, like
Nervous
nerves,
Lizard.
And Fearless,
Fearful Lizard.
Fearsome Lizard. And it's Ghost, so it'll scare you. That's
Doesn't it make all the Nintendo sense?
And the starter, the first one, already like goes invisible.
Yes.
So that could be
that would
play
be
into that.
amazing. I just keep thinking this is, the first Pokemon game besides Let's Go, which is like a remake.
This is the first real one on a console.
On a console that's different. That's a legit Pokemon game next gen.
And it's a brand new gen.
So they have to do something big. So doing all new different stuff. They want to attract new people. They want to attract old Pokemon players. Mm-hmm. It would be amazing.
That's
I
perfect.
so hope that this is real, and it does sound real.
This list, you can kind of go through. We're not going to go through everyone. The list is incredible. There's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
There's easily 150, I think, of new Pokemon. Which, for the first real new gen on the home console, wouldn't they do that?
Yeah.
And have a real new list. Like, they haven't really done that since Gen 5.
Because 6
since
was...
Unova, where they had like a big roster of new Pokemon.
And 6
some of the typings are incredible on it. There's a lot of dragons. There's a lot of ice dragons, ice grass.
Dragon that looks amazing.
And the names are crazy. The other thing I'm going to say before you get to it, Danny, because you can scroll through that and we can kind of take turns saying like what really sticks out to us. When you get down that list, guess what they brought back? Oh, no, well, I'll save that for next, actually. Guess what they kind of brought back? What did they do in Gen 4 that was so amazing?
Gen 4?
Yeah, I think Rhyperior.
They added evolutions.
They added evolutions. Do you guys know what's in this list?
Is it a Shuckle evolution?
No, close to that. They have, first of all, they have an evolution for Rapidash.
Oh,
are you
that's a fire Pegasus. They have an evolution for Arbok and
cough it, wheezing.
Yeah. They have an evolution for Pangoro.
So this must be their answer to Alolan versions. This is like their new Alolan types.
This
They're
is
just adding.
No, this is the legit Pokemon. This is what makes Pokemon great. Alolan versions and Mega Evolutions. Whatever. Mega Evolutions are cool. Fuck Alolan versions. They're stupid. I don't give a shit about this. Taking Pokemon that only have 1 or 2 stages and giving them either a baby form or a next evolution. Pangoro gets an evolution. Hariyama gets an evolution. Pangoro's the fighting panda from Gen 6.
Is
the dark
Hariyama
panda. Hariyama's Makuhita, and then he's like a sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
What was the other? Dunsparce.
Dunsparce finally gets an
Is he a
evolution.
single?
Yep.
Single normal, right?
They have a lot of stuff like
I
that.
love
And there's a couple more. Castform.
Castform gets
one.
No shit.
It's just a standalone. Lots. We should go through the list because they're all in a chunk. And there's some in there that are Drudagon. From Gen 5. Cool. A lot of those, and they're just so
cool
perfect.
Pokemon, just a single dragon.
Yeah, that weird looking dragon.
Yeah. Now, the other one, so it's Sword and Shield, right? And it seems like they picked 2 types to represent those. They picked Steel, obviously, for either, probably Shield. And then they picked Ground for probably Sword, because Ground's a very offensive type. So, do you guys know what happens every even gen?
No.
For a certain young man's favorite Pokemon?
Pikachu? Wait.
Oh,
Eevee.
Because every even gen, we get new Evos.
So...
There is a Ground Evolution and a Steel Evolution for Sword and for Shield.
Wait, okay. So the first one doesn't
Umbreon
count.
and Espeon. The first one doesn't count.
Gen 2.
Umbreon and Espeon, Gen 2. None in Gen 3. Gen 4. Leafeon and Glaceon.
Yep.
None in Gen 5.
6.
Just Sylveon, Gen 6. And then none in level up for 7.
Dude.
Or 8. They do it every time.
Steel and Ground. Oh my god.
Danny, run through that list and just pick out some that look
some
wild
that
to you.
immediately come out to me. One of them is Twin Cape, Gorlite, and Illuminate.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which sounds, it's a 3-string. They're all going to have to do with, like, obviously apes and gorillas and stuff, which sound amazing. The last one, it goes from an electric normal to an electric psychic type.
Are you
Electric
psychic?
Then after that, I think this is a single, but they haven't had it yet. Geodolphin. Geolfin. Which is a single, but it's a water rock, which we have had before, but still, we finally get a dolphin. After that, Chi-Torch and Hita. which sounds
A
cheetah type.
cheetah and hyena.
And it's obviously they're both just pure fire, but we already have the fire lion,
Yeah.
right? So that would be awesome. And then I gotta bring it up, the ice dragons, the first 3 one.
Ice dragon.
Ice dragon?
Get this: G-Cold, Iguanice, and Fremodo. So a Komodo ice dragon type.
Dude.
These are the ones that really pop out to me.
Komodo dragon?
On first look, it
An ice
looks
Komodo dragon.
amazing. I so hope it's real.
How good does that list look?
I get another crocodile. I love for alligator is my favorite Pokemon. Crocodile is okay, but I like pairing crocodile for alligator because it's like crocodile and a fucking alligator.
Yeah.
But then this one I'm looking at just now, fucking Crocodrip, Crocodice, and I think that's it. Maybe Chopadile. So a steel water, which we finally get a steel water. Main typage is steel sub water, which we've never had. We really want it. Somebody made a fan art of this Pokemon. I still remember.
The shark.
Hammerank.
Yep.
It looked like a Pokemon. It sounded like a Pokemon. It was steel for the first typing, water for the next. People were like, it could be a standalone. I guess it could be an evolution of Sharpedo, but they gave him
It's
an
in one of the fake games. It's in one of the fan-made games.
And it's so cool, but it's like we never really got that. But this makes it so we get one.
So I was thinking of Empoleon, but he's water steel.
Yeah.
This would be steel water.
Yeah.
That's
shit,
awesome.
Dude. TN Tiny and Dynamite, a rock fire.
TNT Tiny. How Pokemon...
That's
can
legit.
I have a look at the list? Dude?
That's so legit.
Just start at the let me get back to the beginning. Just go down the list really fast.
And look how legit these
the names are
sound,
legit.
though.
And then it also includes like the slacking Pokemon or something like that along with it. So cool.
Pick out some that stand out to you. Another one I just remembered, Swanna gets an evolution.
From Ducklet.
Love Disc
Finally
gets an evolution. I'm trying to think if there's any other there's a lot.
Weezent's a psychic weasel.
Right?
Like, that sounds so cool.
They have so many. They've included like more dark typage along there.
They covered there's a ton of ice, which is fantastic because it seems like these sound legit as fuck. The stuff that starts to get shady is honestly those Evos giving the Rapidash and the Arbok and the Weezing and the and the Dunsparce. That is stuff we've been asking for a decade, for so long. There's so much fan service in this when you look at it. That's the biggest thing that's like,
and there's still like
this might be kind of fake, but if it's real, it sounds so real.
Some of them, I feel like, if we get the whole thing,
and we're used to fake shit.
But
now,
then they
right?
also have like Ibrisk and Hadegaile or whatever. They're both. That's your normal flying bird right there. There's your Pidgey. You know, they probably have
Weezents is your rat. They always have a bird, and they always have a rodent.
They always have a bug.
Yep.
You know,
there's some good bugs. Cool. They just covered there's a lot of fan service, and there's a lot of covering weak bases. So giving more good ice types, because that's something we're really hurting for. Ground types, giving good, because it's such a good offensive type, but we just don't have that many good things.
Well, then what I love the most.
So there's so much coverage that is so needed in the game, and so much fan service. That's why we're like, it's so exciting, but we have to take it with a grain of salt because it's too much what we want.
What really
because Pokemon has not given us what we want since I don't know. It's always hindsight's 27. What's freaking you out?
A bug dark and a fairy poison, like those, like all fighting electric, like they are doing so many good
new typings,
so many good new combinations
that we're so in need. But to balance it out, again, this is the big push. This is the first console new gen Pokemon.
Non-3DS,
So much of it, like, it makes sense. And here's the thing, boys. So E3 is super quick, and they just did, like a Pokemon Direct or something. I want to go through again real quick, because there you go. Quakeon for the Ground Eevee and Titanion.
That's
for the Steel.
Awesome. I really
so good.
So.
The other thing, we have a specific Sword and Shield update, I think June either 6th or 8th.
E3 first day, June 6th.
Yeah.
Pokemon's
they're doing
and they
live
because they just
update.
did a thing like a couple days ago, and they were like, "There's no Sword and Shield news because we're saving it for this one on like June 8th." So here's the trick. All we need, and we know they're gonna do some reveals. They might even have a demo because they usually do a little closed demo. As far as I'm concerned, if one of these are right,
then all of them are.
The whole fucking thing is. And I'll lose my mind. I'll buy a Switch. I don't care if I have to spend $2,500 on house shit tomorrow. I'll buy a Switch the next day.
It's so cool. I love the thought of it, especially the type. And it all makes sense. I mean, we get more ground, we get more ice, and everybody usually has like a dragon type. They're one of the strongest kind. But we finally get an ice dragon type. So it's like dragons are weak to ice. And they're giving us their ice, but then to balance that out,
we
get an ice dragon. So cool. It makes sense. It's keeping the balance. So many cool types.
It would fit into, like, it seems like they're going for, if this is right, they're going for a more, like, like ground and ice, like, offensive.
Minobi, ninjutsu Pokemon, fighting type, evolves into Ninjul. Neo Ninjutsu Pokemon fighting electric. They have a couple split evolutions, so you can do one or the other. Ooh. So Minobi becomes either Ninjul fighting electric or Fluinja fighting water.
And it just makes sense to me.
And they have a handful of those in there.
Like a fucking Gigajewel.
How on are these names, dude?
If
this is fake. This is the best fake list that's
because it totally sounds what Nintendo would do. Like they come up with
Dowdeer, worn out Pokemon evolves into Ragged Deer.
It's like they're just obvious enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
It's so good. I know. I want to find Tiny, Dynamite, so good. Antegnat, signal Pokemon, evolves into Bequincy, bug flying.
Are you kidding me?
They're so good. Oh, this is the great one. The Cutlery Pokemon, Ghost and Steel, Utensil, evolves into the Cutlery Pokemon, Ghost and Steel, Cutlery. That's so Pokemon.
That's so Pokemon.
That's so Pokemon.
Cutlery.
Buffalo, water buffalo. I'm so excited for this. Man.
A buffalo?
Wait.
Buffalo.
So buffalo could be
water buffalo.
It could be an evolution to Bouffalant.
No, it says if it's
single.
Let me find that part.
I'm fine with the water buffalo, but Bouffalant, which is. I mean, we have Tauros, so it's like, why would I have Bouffalant? But Bouffalant is... I like his design.
Okay,
he's cool. He's got fucking afro. He's amazing.
I think I just found it, you guys. Okay. Graboon. Fighting evolves from Passimian.
Oh, that's cool.
Graboon.
Do you remember Passimian?
He's from the last...
He's
a dumbass Alola
So there's
Pokemon.
Pangoro, which is like... He's like an orangutan, and he's psychic normal. Right?
Wait, no, that was
and then
Unguru or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other one who also has one. He also has one.
Oh, so they're just adding to...
Yeah.
Okay,
but that's so cool, because Oranguru and Passimian, they're
single
awesome
stage
designs, and they are single stage, so it's like... I want to use them, but I don't think I can use them as much.
It was like normal psychic and normal fighting.
Yeah. So like Passimian going to what is it?
Graboon.
Because
he's a football. He's a rugby monkey.
Cool.
Yeah. That's
Dunsprite. Dunsparce's evolution.
Is he going to be a fairy?
Normal fairy.
Oh, dude, that makes sense.
Danny, here you go. Carachnid evolves from Galvantula.
Oh,
Like a current, the electric spider.
Joltik and Galvantula.
I love
Galvantula. Carachnid, like a current.
And he's still bug electric.
Still bug electric. Ducklet, Swanna, Goosh. Water flying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
don't worry. I'm just gonna go
Water flying.
Love Disc, Infatuov. The Rendezvous Pokemon, Water Fairy. I can't believe I forgot this. This. Phanpy. Donphan. Tuskord.
Oh my god, dude. Are you shitting me?
What's the type on that one?
Ground.
Still
ground.
Just pure ground.
So cool.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
I don't remember what the first stage is. It's something Meowstic Marveline. The psychic cat. Marveline, because it'd be a feline. Whatever the first... Or is it a single stage? It's just boy and girl.
Yeah.
Meowstic Marveline.
What does it have a gender specific like Salin did? Because Salin did, they had to be female to evolve into Salazzle.
Here's your so Passimian, Graboon, Oranguru, I guess like Sangurutang. Healer Pokemon.
Oh, that's
normal
cool.
Psychic evolves from Oranguru.
That's really cool.
Sangorutang,
So,
like a sage orangutan. Here's your
awesome.
Drudagon, Gorgon.
That's cool.
Oh my god.
Vicious Pokemon, Dragon Ghost.
I was gonna say, because it almost sounds like, what is it? Almost like...
It's Gorgon.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's always been the vicious. What's
is Drudagon just pure dragon?
Yeah.
He's just
pure
pure dragon.
Then this would be Ghost Dragon? That's really cool.
That's
Ghost
amazing.
Dragon?
Pancham, Pangoro, Pandominate.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
That's cool.
Here's a Bascrap, the Shredder Pokemon, Water Steel from Basculin. The standalone.
Because Basculin is so fucking strong, but he is just a pure water.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Water Steel.
But he has really high attack. That makes sense. It sounds so fucking cool!
Pokemon. Cast form, Climate. Make Climate.
If this isn't real, I am going to be so fucking sad.
Does Cast Form have different forms?
Yes,
different
based
forms
on the weather.
Yeah,
based on the
weather.
weather
Move.
That's it. So I assume the evolution would do the same.
Here's
Hopefully, but it would be. We haven't had Cast Form since fucking Gen 3. He's probably, you can get him to other.
I can't believe I didn't look
But
at
they
this
give it to you. And it's like, I feel like there should be more to this Pokemon, So it would be so cool that they finally give him an evolution.
Yeah.
Ekans, Arbok, Nipiat?
Did you say Arbok?
What did I say? Arbok.
It's
I'm sorry.
Arbok.
I'm looking at the name.
What is
Ekans, Arbok, Nipiat, which backwards is Taipan.
I like
and
that.
And it is the Taipan Pokemon.
Because it's still...
Which is still a snake, right?
And it still plays into...
What's Weezing?
Ekans, Weezing is
Ekans.
Fuming with a Y. F-Y-U-ming. Fuming.
That's amazing.
Rewop for Rotom. Rotom into Rewop.
Well, because they've made Rotom so big. He was in Gen 5. When did they introduce him?
I think Rotom's Gen 4.
4. He's 4.
So they introduce him, but then in Gen 7, your Pokedex is fused with a Rotom. So obviously he's supposed to be bigger. So yeah, they would give him a fucking evolution, which is awesome.
He's a single stage. Here we go. This, guys, if this
he has
is...
different forms.
If this is legit, I'm going to crap my pants. Well, that was one of the things A-Drive brought up. He's like, well, so he has different forms. How does that play into the evolution? Doesn't need to.
I don't know why it would need to.
Or maybe the evolution will have different forms.
I mean, I think that's amazing too. Just
based
like
on what form.
If Cast Form into Climate, he could have different forms too. I don't see why they would.
Because Rotom is like
reduce it.
Rotom has different forms and Cast Form has different forms, but they're still called Rotom and Cast Form.
Exactly.
In every
so
form.
you could still change it. I don't see why not.
Yeah. You just have a different design based on what form you're using to evolve.
So cool. I'm so excited.
Dude, that would be so...
I really hope it's legitimate. Do we have any more Pokemon we need to go through, or do you want to go on to the next possible leak that came out months ago?
Real quick, Drippo
for
hippopotamus Pokemon. Water evolves into Hippor.
like Hippodon.
But it's another
Hippodon
hippo.
versus each other.
There's a couple more because the phone got fucked and I lost my place. But
dang it!
the one I found it. Ponyta.
2.
Rapidash.
2.
Fugasis.
Dude.
The Pegasus Pokemon. Fire flying.
Are you shitting me?
Right?
Fire
Right?
Danny?
Makuhita, Hariyama, Sumongus.
Oh,
Sumongus.
Because he's already
a huge sumo.
Because Hariyama already has the big hands. He already kind of looks like a sumo guy. But then, like, making that legit. Oh my god!
If this is not real,
I'm
I don't even know.
I don't remember what the first one is, but then it becomes Heliolisk, the electric dragon from Gen 5, and then Heliozard.
Is he still
Electric dragon.
Okay, because originally he's
just
electric normal.
And he becomes
pretty sure.
Heliozard, third stage electric dragon.
Oh, please.
And that's all the
Please.
all the supposed
Like
how
if this
great are
That's
those?
such a cool.
Aside from the rest of the list, which is insane.
What will the names in the game possibly be if this is not real?
See, that's the thing. Because if this isn't real, then it worries me. Like, they've done stuff in the past that sounds like this does sound like Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, it would be really unfortunate. It does make me think, I mean, we can all agree, Pokemon have had stupid names. Klefki is like a fun turn on it, but then you've had like Clank and Clank and Clink Clank Cling.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like...
And that's literally just gears.
Yeah, it's like that's okay.
The first comment is stupid, but the next one, reasons why this is fake, and this is probably a 14-year-old, so take this with a grain of salt. These names are bad compared to the worst Pokemon names. I hard disagree. I think these are fantastic.
And they
Pokemon.
make
But that
sense.
almost makes me worried because they've had... I think their names have been going
Game
down,
Freak will most likely
but-
never do a full new region dex with over 100 Pokemon again after Black and White because of the workload, and this doesn't coincide with the leaks from the Chinese puzzler that was right about Sun and Moon, so... No. I don't know what the Chinese Riddler puzzler has put out recently. I don't give a shit. If he is right, I hope he's not because he was super right about Alola, and I hated it. So
here's my thing, though, is that it's like they wouldn't put the work in. What the fuck is that?
But
this is the first
new
Pokemon game
big
for a
gen,
console.
so if they
Of
were
course
gonna
you would put that
put-
work in. Of course you would have a full new Pokedex almost with over 100 new Pokemon for everybody, both new and returning, to grab both attention from both sides, right? Mm-hmm. And then also include the classic Pokemon and some other like just normal ones from past gens. The work is totally worth it because the Switch is so successful, and again, it's the first Pokemon game on a console.
Yeah,
that's huge.
And it's when did Sun and Moon come out? When did Ultra come out?
Oh god, we even got the dates. I want 2017, 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I hate Alola.
2017.
I still hate Alola.
So,
where
I
are
mean,
you trying to bring? We're already at an hour, but we can go a little bit over.
But it's just like okay, so I get it's too much of a workload because they're probably pumping out like Sun and Moon and Ultra, for money, and they've always done.
Yeah.
Like they'll push out the first new gen
one.
and then push out.
If they're fake, they were at least faked by someone who can make Pokemon names that sound good.
I don't know.
God damn, could Donphan use that evolution though what it really needs is a better move pool. A lot of people are saying like not how we're saying it, like it's too good to be true. A lot of people are bitching like the names are stupid. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
the names. Your point is relevant. The names have been stupid. Pokemon has been going downhill.
With their name,
it hit and miss.
Gen 6 is great.
Gen 6 is good. Gen 6
I
like
Gen 7 chugs penis. I hate it.
Gen 7
Not that there's anything wrong with chugging penis. You can do that if you so wish.
I liked a lot of the names.
Gen 7 has some good Pokemon. Some of the names are
We did it with the game, dude. We couldn't...
One of the best names
gen.
from Gen 7 is fucking Mimikyu. I love Mimikyu. I love that
Mimikyu's
whole
great.
concept. But it's like... But overall, I think we have to agree they have been going down. I
So
cannot
something
agree
this
with the thought
positive
that it's like, why
and
would
this
they put in
fan
this much
servicey.
work? It's like, they would...
It's
why
the first-
wouldn't they put in
Yeah.
so much work?
One thing-
It doesn't make sense why they wouldn't.
One thing that
You know?
One thing that
Why would I put a Pokemon game out, the first one on an extremely successful condo, from Nintendo, and just not put work in it? That doesn't make sense to me.
What
Right?
about what is it about dumbing the games down and just making worse content brings in new players?
because they're
Surely nothing, right?
but the
people
new-
will
but-
get turned on to Pokemon. I am going to cut you off to finish my thought, Evan, but keep it in mind. People are going to get turned on to Pokemon when you and me and you, Aaron, when we have kids. And when we work with kids,
glad you
like
said
I
that.
did, and we relate to them, and it's like, oh yeah, that you are into Pokemon. They weren't horseshoeing, spoon-feeding this kind of weak bullshit in these later gens. Like, the kids I know were getting into it. They just always were. It's 6 or 7 years ago when I was working in summer camps and stuff. Guess what, stupid? Kids were still into Pokemon.
Yeah,
And they were familiar with the new ones, just not as much the old ones. And then in the next gap of 6 to 7 years, we'll all have a kid or two or whatever, and we're gonna make them listen to Poster, Gore, and Pop Punk and play Pokemon.
But
why wouldn't we?
But
it's always popular with children because it's still got that gimmick of look at all these shiny, fun monsters. So you want to play the game and catch them and that kind of. It still appeals to the same demographic. It's always appealing to children. And then, if you double down, you just keep making it to make it keep appealing to children. First of all, you double down and you improve your sales by continuing to appeal to us. Because then you don't just have the kids buying into it, you have the old fans buying into it as well. So this right here is your prime way, because you're going to get that's what they did with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. They were like, alright, let's make it easier for kids or whatever, because we're doing the flick the wrist, do the Switch, Nintendo gimmick, and it's Gen 1, because every one of us is like, we play Gen 1, we love that nonsense, like, get me in on that. You do something like this, revitalize the whole thing, and what better time than right now when they're finally moving to the home console, give us what we want, just give the kids a new Pokemon game, you're going to be so much better off than some spoon-fed Alola bullshit. Am I wrong?
Okay, so I do not agree. I don't
Don't disagree.
I don't disagree.
I'm the Fuhrer! You would not disagree with me!
I don't disagree with that last point. I think you're absolutely right that it should be like putting it out on the Switch, like, and for all of us who have grown up with Pokemon, that would be perfect for them to do. But I would say that their focus, at least, like when they made Gen 7. Because it definitely felt like getting rid of the gyms and all this stuff, it felt like they were appealing to kids. They were appealing to an easier play style. And I think their focus was to appeal to kids. That they literally just said, like, we're gonna kind of ignore what we, who have grown up on the game, who aren't kids anymore, are saying about it. We're still going to appeal to kids.
I think
and
they just wanted
kids
to
don't
do
fucking
it.
know what they want. Like, they, like...
I think they just wanted to do it.
I
I think they wanted to get away from it to kind of revitalize themselves. If we go and make 2 metalcore records, just cut and paste, we're going to be sick of it by record 3. And we are going to be like, fuck it, let's make a pop record. I don't care if we're bad. Like, at least we're doing something new and keeping it going. And this particular guy that kind of directs Pokemon, I know, or at least for Lola, I don't know if he was like a new guy or if he's been doing it for a minute, but I know it wasn't the same guy that did our kind of favorite. Let's just say 1 through 3. 4 and 5 are great. And I love 6. Fuck it. I love... The only one I've truly had a beef with is 7. I think 7 sucks. Yeah. It is a slog to get through either of those games. Yes. It is a pain in the ass to get through those games. And then it sucks. And then it's not fun.
And that's disappointing.
But I can go back and play any of the other gens, just depending on my mood and the system I want to be playing on. And the graphic thing. John saw me on the brand new computer I have. Oh, that's the other thing we got to talk about. But on the brand new computer, he's like, you're obsessed with bit games because I'm playing Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire. I'm playing Game Boy Advance games on a fucking quad-core i7 processor. I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like, these are the best games that were ever made, dude. Gens, I don't think they were just appealing to kids by taking out gyms, by maybe in a sense saying I'm taking out the challenge, but Gen 5 is traditionally more difficult. And it's got older protagonists. They're actually not supposed to be just 10. And the games are hard. The first gym in the original one, not in Black and White 2, the gym leader will have the Pokemon that is stronger against your starter, depending on what you pick. Yeah. So Gen 5, they went the opposite route. They made it a little bit harder. And I think that... I think Pokemon will always make their money appealing to us, frankly, 100%. Because they started this with us, with millennials. I'm dead. I'm trying to picture the arguments against this, and I know that I'm right. I know that I'm right, knowing nothing about business and marketing. But, like, I know that I am. They started it with us. We were the ones they obsessed, and we're the ones that still give a shit. The little kids right now, what do they care about? Like backpack dancing and Fortnite and kind of bullshit? They don't care about Pokemon. In 5-10 years, they're not going to care. You know what? They will always make their money appealing to the older fans, and 100%. Because they're never going to outnumber us.
With Gen 7, they might have saw like a decline in kids buying this because they're not interested in
I hope.
Because it's been around for so long.
We played the game, dude.
And that would be like this leak is legit because they're actually doing things that people like us who have grown up on it want.
We played all the games. We did try to name them 1 through 7, and as we went on, generally we did okay. Once we hit Gen 5 or so, our just naming the blank Pokemon started to go down, and 6 and 7 were like a travesty. Yeah. We did terrible because we just didn't care anymore. You're telling me a new kid is like, no. A 9-year-old is going to know those? No. You need to appeal to us. Game Freak, listening to this podcast.
The people who have been around, company. Who fucking know, like, Gen 1 and Gen 2.
Because we care forever. All right, anything else we're excited about for E3, guys? I've spent no time thinking about it. I don't care.
We can wait until after E3 happens.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Well, folks, this is Evan, and...
I'm Evan.
There we go.
Diddy No Name!
Diddy No Name and Matt Whiskey Trunks, and we're Sweatpants Factory, and this was Sweatpants number 6. And we'll talk to y'all maybe next week or whenever I feel like it. Bye.
Bye.